Manchester United to continue the cuts under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. This time they are slashing spending to the United Foundation as part of Ratcliffe's efforts to rein in spending, get financial fair play under wraps. How are we feeling about these cuts? They keep coming left, right, and center. Can't keep up with them. Now the foundation is being, downsized, right-sized, whatever you want to call it. But either way, they keep happening. How are we feeling about Jim Ratcliffe cost-cutting initiatives at Manchester United?
I mean, there's also a mice infestation, sir. So, we're probably cutting the money so we can pay to feed all the mice, make sure they're doing all right in the bleachers at Old Trafford. Look, this is just brutal. The cuts keep on coming. The articles just one by one. I wish they would hire a PR firm to kind of like spin this in some way, or like say that they're repurposing funds to make a bigger impact or something. They don't give a fuck. They're just like cutting costs from all these great causes and just being like, so what? Scrooge McDuck. That's the way that Jim Ratcliffe is running this thing. And I feel like they could be a little less tone deaf. For me, it's about perception's reality. You got to be able to manage the narrative a little bit. They axed Sir Alex Ferguson like in the middle of the start of the season with like no press release, no nothing, just like, thanks for coming out. Bye. See you later. Boom. Take them out back. Then they're like, charity. Yeah, that's got to go. Disabled fans. How much we paying those? Get that out of here. Like they're going now. They got the Manchester United legends. They're cutting $40,000 a year out of there. They're gonna like the Manchester United Foundation like £1 million budget. Manchester United has over 700 million in revenue, probably. Like they can't do what they're like 1 million to charity. Like that's gotta go. Like these guys are just like, I would have thought, to be honest, there had to be austerity, right? So when they took away the corporate cards or
the holiday party,
private jet, or like the holiday party, I could get behind that, or maybe making it a shit holiday party, or even like turning the bonuses into gift cards, or like some of this stuff I could understand. But like even the ticket prices I can understand. But to go this far is just like a little much. It's kind of becoming like he's becoming a cartoon villain at this stage. And that's not good, because we should also be offsetting this by revenue deals. Like, where are the new revenue deals? Where's the new deal for the naming of the stadium? Like, I don't want to rename Old Trafford, but hey, I'd rather keep the Manchester United Foundation going and sell $100 million sponsorship for the stadium. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of other things on the revenue side they should be doing as well. And right now it's all bad news on the cost-cutting side. And clearly, if you were mapping this out in any fashion that made sense, would just be like, all right, let's do some nice announcements and then get the shitty ones in there, right? So I feel like they're not offsetting this and there's no strategy, which tells me one thing and one thing only. It is worse than you thought, and they're behind the scenes being like, cut everything. It's horrible. Like, they're just looking for blood. That's how bad it is. Stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding. They're not even thinking about anything else because the priority is saving the cash because it's so bad at Old Trafford right now.
No, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe's like pretty close from having 3 ghosts visit him and be like, hey, man, like, you got to stop doing this. It's where we're at. It's like you said, it's like there is a level of lack of self-awareness that's a little concerning, because some of these cuts just like, sure, I get it. Like across the board, austerity for all, we're tightening up our belt. But they also like you're cutting 40 grand for shit that's going to like make you look like a fucking Scrooge. Like you said, it just doesn't always compute in terms of like a team and a company that makes $700 million a year to make these kind of minuscule cuts that end up looking really bad when you have all the other stuff happening with the price increases. And I think it's what you said. It's like we ended up in Europe this year by, a bit of luck and winning the FA Cup. And I think they built that into their model. And now they're like, holy shit, we are not getting into Europe. We're going to have to find that money. And it's not going to come from 40K cuts. Like you said, it's like, where's the additional revenue? You got to give some credit to the previous crew. That's the one thing that Woodward knew how to do, was how to monetize the club in any way he could. Not always the best ways, right, in terms of just like whoring out the brand to a certain degree, but there has to be ways to bring in additional revenue streams without the new stadium being built, which doesn't look to be built anytime soon. So those plans have not been finalized. We've been hearing a lot of posturing, but there doesn't seem to be any other revenue streams coming our way other than like us finishing Europe, which is not going to happen this year. So I don't understand this. This makes me concerned about Sir Jim. Right, the firing of Dan Ashworth, some of these like things that just make me realize like maybe he's filled around with too many people who just tell him everything he wants to hear, which does happen at a certain age once you've made enough money. But I'm hoping, because he's the devil we got at the moment and he's making the calls. But this seems tone deaf and like it's to spite yourself. Why would you cut the foundation when it's only a fucking $1 million?
Well, because there's no choice. Like, so the problem is
We're fucked.
It's worse than we thought, and it's worse than he thought. And we like the way so INEOS came in with a plan and they got punched in the mouth, and they're not necessarily reacting in a good way, right? I don't think they've necessarily learned from their mistakes. I don't think if you look at the last year with INEOS that they've actually made the right decisions, nor do the current decisions make me think that they're going to figure it out. I think that this club at the current rate is going to be in like dire circumstances, and I'm sure they're just banking and praying there's some sort of public funding for that stadium, because we do not have the money. We are dead broke, and this situation can turn south real fast, and they might need to go back to like a fire sale and get some big Middle Eastern buyer to come in for $5 billion and pay it, just because Sir Jim might take a loss. Like that's where we are headed to that. Like this is really bad. Like the financial situation is really bad. The situation on the pitch is really bad. There is like the 200 million, like we keep maxing the credit card and finding new nooks and crannies thinking that we're going to get somewhere. And we keep buying the worst players possible. And we have spent there is no money for players. There really isn't money for players. It's really come down to that. And we are broke. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
And I had that fear.
Sell the club.
I had that fear the other day when they
sell it.
No, when they fired Ashworth and his judgment started looking a lot less sharp than we had hoped, I was like, they're going to end up driving this in the ground. He's going to get frustrated, not want to put any more money in it. We're going to have to sell to some fucking Middle Eastern team, like Middle Eastern Sovereign Wealth Fund, because guess what? They would.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
I'd be a part of that.
Yes, you're with the Saudis.
Okay.
So you want the Saudis to buy us? He'll be the face of that.
No. It won't be the PFF. It will be like Ronaldo and friends.
Oh, yeah. Who's his friend? MBS?
Ronaldo and friends. But here's the deal. If Ronaldo is an owner of the club, you gotta welcome him back with open arms. You gotta welcome him back.
Because there's a guy.
Because you're like, you don't like Ronaldo or something, like he did you wrong, he spit in your soup or something. I don't know what he did to you. I know what he did.
Like, watch this club, bro. He comes back. He lacks self-awareness too, bro. So I'm sure it'll be a roaring success.
Back,
I'm gonna root for him. I'm gonna root for whoever.
Comes back, you gotta drop. Like you and Ronaldo have to have a kumbaya. You got to drop your Ronaldo
until he starts cutting the foundation. Of course,
is that fair?
I will support any steward of this club. I love this club more than anything, more than I should. It's irrational. What do you make of
his comments lately? Those are nice comments. He said,
"What comments? What comments?"
He said that the club is sick and it's like a fish tank, and you put a fish in, and he wants to fix it. And I think he actually, despite him being a nut and like only thinking about himself, I do think he cares about Manchester United. Do you deny that? Like he does seem to like talk about it a lot and think, and it is sad that it's not going
I think
well.
He has real affection for the club. I think he has real affection for the club. I think we played a key role in his youth. If you look when his dad died and him joining United, I think we were instrumental in Fergie having, the shoulder to lean on as he came into the player that he became. And dude, unbelievable player, one of the greatest of all times. Hey,
but he doesn't talk about Madrid like that though.
Because who gives a fuck about Madrid? Nobody loves Madrid like they love United.
I know, but I'm saying,
it's easy to like Madrid, bro.
There's a special part of him and this club is what I'm trying to say. And that's like special that one of the greatest players ever to do it, like looks at United and is like, that's my club. And he doesn't talk about Madrid like that. He probably talks about his Madrid teammates like that and the trophies like that.
The trophies.
The club.
Here's the thing.
I think that's it's a good thing. It's a good thing, dude.
If he shows up, he is going to be the face of an organization that you are not thrilled about. Neither will I be. That's the thing. He ain't going to show up.
He's going to bring money, bro.
Yes, he will. But
he'll bring money to this team. And I just feel like he's a nut. And he's also Portuguese, so he's probably rooting for Amorim, and he likes United. So I'm just saying, like, you and Ronaldo had your relationship hit the skids. I get it, but you got to welcome him back because he's saying nice things. He still likes this club, and I just want to highlight that. One of our greatest players ever to do it.
Hey, if he comes back, I'm open arms. You know what? I don't know who he's going to be coming with, but that's the name of the game. And you know what? Football seems to be going that way anyway, so whoever wants to come save United, I'm all ears. As long as he's a little less tone deaf. Because this guy, I have a feeling it is going one way. And we also don't know the conditions of know the conditions of the minority investment. We had talked about when that deal was done. There might be like he gets a window of operating the club, and then if he fucks it up or he doesn't hit certain milestones, the Glazers get to run he has to do a forced sell.
The Glazers are definitely not happy about this guy. Like this guy is looking.
Yeah, but he's getting all the heat now. No one's talking about the
He's
Glazers
looking
anymore.
like, no, I know, but that's also why, like, that's 3D chess, and the fact that Ratcliffe is out here taking mud, and Glazers could be thrown in these cuts, nobody knows. So at the end of the day, it's just like he's the whipping post right now, and it looks bad. So like, here's the thing: if he does this bad, another, like, I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. It's slow motion car crash. We're here. We're going to cover it all here at the American Red Devils. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Should Ronaldo buy us? See, we're coming back, baby. Bring him back, sir. Alex will welcome him back in open arms. Please subscribe to our YouTube. Only 30% of our viewers actually subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It helps other Manchester United fans find our small-time channel. Hack the algorithm. Support the podcast. Like, comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.